Hello, my friends. I wanted to give you a bit of advice regarding the 2021 exam. I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating. The 2nd of January 2021 exam will be based on the PMBOK Guide 6th edition and other texts. Okay? I've said it so many times, but some folks still think that the 7th edition should be somewhere in a bookstore. And it's unfortunate that this has not been drummed down louder by the PMI. Now, a lot of you are wondering, what am I going to do? Where is the 7th edition? It is not going to be available. Watch this. 7th edition will not be available until end of Q1 or even Q2. Okay, now how do I know that? Well, I don't rely a lot on PMI for information, to be quite honest, because they have been used to keeping a lot of us in the dark as far as their plans. For example, this new exam will only have 180 questions. Many of us were not aware of this until a week and a half ago. That is too late, in my opinion. Also, the aspect of the exam being 230 minutes was also new. So there's a lot of stuff that either comes out too late or does not make its way to you until you've already made a decision. Can you imagine developing courseware and course content based on a configuration of 200 questions only to realize that it is now going to be based on 180 and 230 minutes? So these are some of the challenges that we trainers face, even those who have been on the registered education provider program. So I want to make it very clear that come 2021, we're not shooting out of the gate with training that is cutover training. Instead, we are going to take our time. We are going to develop the cutover training based on what we absolutely know to be fact. And to do that, we are not going to be offering the cutover training the first week of January or not even the second week. We're going to give it time for us to understand what the PMI is really doing, what plans they have, and to get feedback, real world feedback from students who have taken this new exam. Remember, the question types will be changing. There'll be many differences. But one thing I want you to be aware of is this: the Agile Presence on the exam will be much more pronounced than before. Okay? So, for those of you that have not studied Agile, you need to. Okay? If you have not studied Agile to a very large degree, I want to advise you to get trained and coached by my buddy Roy and I simply by going to a website and registering. You don't have to come for the training proper. Some of you can study this stuff on your own, self study. The website is agileprinciple.com. This will help sensitize you to Agile. Many of you are not Agile aware, and this will hurt you on the exam in 2021 if you don't get your act together. Okay? For those of you who have already signed up for the Project Management Masterclass training, projectmanagementmasterclass.com, you don't need to worry about this. This is for those folks who are, I hate to say it, in the dark regarding the new exam. The Agile Presence is going to be huge. So if you're thinking of taking your exam on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of January, 7th of January, and you haven't prepared, like you haven't beefed up your Agile knowledge, you must do that. Now, let me break this down very clearly, okay? The new exam is going to be based on this allocation of people, 42%, process 50%, and business. And business is 8%. Okay? Now, in addition to this breakdown, my friends, it is extremely important that you remember that each of these areas has this possibility. Are you with me? Let's look at people. People is going to have, on average, a breakdown into two, where of this 42%, I want you to look at it like this. This will be broken down into 21% agile and hybrid. This is how you need to think about it to get your bearings straight before you try this new exam. Okay? Agile and hybrid, 21%. And I want you to think of the other 21% as being predictive. See where this is going? Some of you already see the diagram before I've drawn it because you're smart and you know what exactly this means. This means that for every one of these breakdowns, people, process, business, you're going to have a breakdown. Half of it is going to be predictive and half of it is going to be agile. It's as simple as that. So to make it extremely clear, think about 25% being agile or hybrid from the process piece. Think about 25% being from the predictive world under process. And in the same token, you got to think about 8%. And I'm just going to use smaller font so this can fit in. But you get the idea. 8% predictive will be broken down into 4%, or 8% business, I beg your pardon, will be broken down into 4% predictive and 4% agile hybrid. Do you get where this is going? Okay. So when you boil it down, the people, the process, the business could have a split like this. I really wanted to make it very visual because I know some of you have not really understood what is going to happen on this new exam. If you're not firm with Agile, you could suffer. Okay, and that's the purpose for this video, to make it very clear that you need to understand, watch this, the 14 tasks of people, not only from a predictive approach, but also from an agile and hybrid approach. The 17 tasks, okay? And they are not split evenly. So let me make this clearer, right? By putting 17 here and here. This is how you're going to have to see them. It's not, oh, half of the tasks are going to be predictive, half of them are going to be agile. No. They could come at you from an agile perspective in any of the 17 tasks under process. They can come at you from an agile perspective from any of the 14 tasks in people. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? The same thing for business. They're going to come at you, those 4 tasks. You get what I'm saying? So even though there are 4 tasks, just 4 in business, any of those 4 could be tailored to an agile question. Any of those four could be tailored to a hybrid or predictive question. Okay. So this is the summary. Okay. There are 14 tasks in people, but either of those could be from any of those areas. You get it? I really wanted to make that visual, but I don't want you thinking they're double tasks. No, they're 14, but those 14 could be partly here, partly here. Does that make sense? Same thing for process and the same thing for business. Okay. So you have 35 tasks, and they could come from agile, predictive, it could be hybridized. For those of you that have been wondering what on earth to do with this across the board, because not only are you not proficient in the world of agile, you're also not proficient in the world of predictive. For those folks, you still have time to sign up for our training at projectmanagementmasterclass.com. And I want to make this extremely clear. Training of this caliber, first of all, is very hard to find. It's almost non-existent, where the training is trying to get you to function in the real world as well as pass the exam as a superb PM using state-of-the-art techniques and tools. It is also very rare to see a course of this level for such a minuscule amount. Now, I've received a lot of comments, people saying, oh, this course is so awesome. I went for a degree program and I didn't even get this amount of attention or detail, and I paid $4,000 for the program. This is worth much more. So when I offer this to you at a price that is under $1,500, it is extremely important that you realize I am giving it away. Okay? This is my way of giving back. I very well could decide not to train the PMP and do my own thing. But because I see so many people struggling and needing help, I have decided to offer it at a very affordable rate. There are many other training courses you could go to. There are many courses under $100. Okay? But they will not give you the level of dedication, attention, and expertise that this will. This is a course that will serve as a networking option for you. Being connected to me offers you a whole lot of perks and offers you a lot more than any of the other training companies out there, because you will have individualized help and attention on the projectmanagementmasterclass.com course. I hope this gives you clarity regarding what to do in 2021. Please understand that due to the sheer volume of messages I get, it is not possible to respond to all of them immediately, but my team and I will try our best to respond to you. I wish you all the best in 2021. Keep on trucking.